Welcome back to the Blackout Motorsports channel. It's Chris again, and we're going to work through the June 21st weekly challenges in Gran Turismo 7. This has been one of the easier challenges since they've started doing them, so I'm sure most of you didn't have much issue with it. But in case you did, here's how I tackled them. First up was the Japanese Clubman Cup 550 at Fuji International Speedway. This race has a suggested performance point value of 550, so that's where I set my car up. I decided to use a different Skyline GT-R this time, the Nismo R32. This has a wide body with a lot of aero. You can check out my tune here. Since it's Fuji, you need to have a balance of speed and power. This way, you don't get left for dead on the front straight, but also don't lag behind in the weird turns Fuji has so many of. However, this was still an easy race, and I was able to get through it in a couple of tries despite this not being anywhere near my favorite track. In fact, I kinda hate it. I've seen where others have encountered rain during this race, but as you can see, the rain was due well after I was finished, so no problems there. Easy win, and on to the next one. The second race was a World Rally Challenge at Sardegna Windmills. This time, I decided to switch it up and use an R34 GT-R that I tuned for rally. I was inspired to tune my favorite car this way by Adam LZ's R32 Safari build. I like how interesting and fun his car looks. You can check out my tune here. Wide body, dirt tires, and suspension cranked all the way up with a low RPM turbo was the way to go for this build. A meager 611 performance points out of the allowed 700. Not a huge fan of the rally races, but they're a part of the game, so let's get to it. I did this race a couple of times just because I didn't really remember the track layout, but overall I won with a couple of seconds lead. To top it off, I actually did get the clean race bonus. Not exactly sure how, but we'll take it. Next up was the Lamborghini Urus one-make race at Tokyo Expressway. I've done a couple of races here in this configuration with slower cars. For the Urus, the only thing I did was add sport soft tires and sent it. Here's my lack of tune if you wanted to check that out. I won relatively easy after taking a couple of tries just to get re-familiar with the track and the way the Urus drives. And even with a couple of scrapes, I still managed to get the clean race bonus, so that's another one down. For the Vision Gran Turismo trophy at Deep Forest Raceway in the reverse layout, I initially went with the Lamborghini V12 VGT. However, it's tuned for another race, and apparently that didn't have any carryover to this one, so it was somewhat difficult to control. I ended up using the LF-LC GT VGT for this race, as it's very stable and easy to drive. However, it was not as fast as a couple of the other cars, specifically the Porsche VGT, during the long front and back straights, so I had to make use of its stability in the corners to gain some ground. I won by a couple of seconds to finish that race off. Now for the final race. The challenges end after completing the World Touring Car 700 at Dragon Tail Gardens in the reverse layout. Not a huge fan of this particular track, but I do have some familiarity with it, so I just went for it. The car of choice for this race was the insane sounding Alfa Romeo 155 V6 Ti. I love the way this car sounds, with real life cars touching 11,000 RPM at full song. Not much tuning to do here other than racing medium tires and racing transmission. I know this car is great on fuel, so I decided to try to complete the race without pitting. You have to short shift a few laps on fuel map 6 in order to do that, but in the end it worked out okay. Rain did swoop through mid-race, and I did slow a little, but not much. Overall, another easy win and challenge completed. A cool 800k and a part that I don't need. I don't know that you needed it this time, but if you did, I hope this does help you. Any questions can go in the comments below. Like for the algorithm if it helped, or if you like this content, subscribe for more of it. And I'll see you in the next one. Happy racing.